Did we really land on the moon? Or is it the greatest hoax in history? On the night of July 20th, 1969, millions of people around the world witnessed what was described as the greatest achievement in human history. Astronaut Neil Armstrong stepping onto the moon, uttering his famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." But what if that leap never actually happened? What if it was all just an elaborate hoax? In this video, we will delve into the scientific evidence, credible testimonies, and physical factors that could make landing on the moon impossible, or at the very least, highly questionable. The vast distance between Earth and the moon. Was it really possible to cover it? Let's start with a basic fact. The distance between Earth and the moon is about 384,400 kilometers, 238,855 miles. Imagine traveling to such a faraway destination using 1960s technology. How did NASA manage to send astronauts aboard a spacecraft equipped with technology far less advanced than the smartphones we use today? Modern jet planes would take weeks to cover such a distance. Yet NASA claims that the Saturn V rocket made the journey in just 3 days, using technology developed during World War II. Could such equipment really transport humans safely through the harsh environment of space? The Van Allen radiation belt, a deadly barrier to space travel? One of the biggest challenges for anything trying to leave Earth's atmosphere is the Van Allen radiation belt. This highly radioactive region surrounds Earth and emits radiation levels so intense that they could damage human cells and electronic equipment. Physicist James Van Allen, after whom the belts were named, indicated in multiple studies that these radiation levels could be lethal to any human passing through them without adequate protection. Yet, NASA claims that the astronauts' thin spacesuits and the simple Apollo 11 spacecraft were enough to shield them. How did the astronauts survive such intense radiation with no apparent side effects? Atmospheric pressure and the deadly vacuum of space. Could they have survived? Space is an absolute vacuum, with temperatures plummeting to minus 270 degrees Celsius, minus 454 degrees Fahrenheit. Even the slightest tear in a spacesuit would result in instant death. However, strangely enough, NASA's recordings show no issues related to thermal expansion, instant freezing, or any other life-threatening factors. Could the primitive equipment of that era have truly been capable of handling such extreme conditions? Where are the stars in the moon landing photos? If you closely examine the Apollo moon landing images, you'll notice something strange. There are no stars in the background. This is puzzling because space has no atmosphere to obscure light, meaning the sky should have been filled with bright stars. NASA's explanation: they claim the brightness of the moon's surface washed out the stars. But how is it that the cameras used could capture detailed shadows of the astronauts' boots in the lunar soil, yet fail to capture even a single star? The flag waving in a windless environment. In one of the most famous clips from the moon landing, the American flag appears to wave, as if being blown by the wind. However, the moon has no atmosphere, meaning there is no wind to make the flag move. How can this be explained? Could it have been filmed on Earth, where air currents are present? Scientists and experts' testimonies. Did they reveal the truth? Several notable scientists and experts throughout history have raised questions about the moon landing. Bill Kaysing, an engineer who worked on NASA projects, wrote a book titled "We Never Went to the Moon," in which he claimed that the images and videos were staged and filmed in a studio. Stanley Kubrick, the famous director of 2001, A Space Odyssey, was rumored to have been involved in directing the staged moon landing footage in a secret studio. Even some astronauts themselves have avoided answering detailed questions about the mission, and some have even refused to swear on the Bible that they actually went to the moon. Conclusion: Were we victims of the greatest hoax in history? After reviewing all this evidence, the biggest question remains. Was humanity's moon landing a genuine achievement? Or was it just an elaborate cinematic deception? Perhaps we will never know the full truth. But one thing is certain. If you believe everything you're told without questioning it, you may have already fallen victim to the greatest hoax in history. What do you think? Do you believe we actually landed on the moon? Or do you have doubts? Share your opinion in the comments.